morning. I'm Mike Schmidt, and it's a bit amazing for me to realize that I'm just about 1/4 of the way through my 2-year tenure as president of the Illinois Retired Teachers Association. Why? It seems like just last week that we had the IRTA Biennial Convention in Springfield. Last October's convention where our delegates, and perhaps you were one of them, elected the state officers for these 2 years. And now, while time marches on, here are you and I taking part in this area conference. And I'm so glad that you are. So far, I'm really enjoying this job, although using the word job is misleading since I don't get paid. I'm a volunteer. Later in today's conference, we're going to explore in some depth volunteerism. But for the moment, I'd like to let you know that over the previous 8 years, I was chair of the state membership committee. And as such, it was great to watch the state membership numbers go from about 36,000 to well over 40,000 today. Now, that increase had less to do with my being committee chair, but rather was largely due to the efforts of the state membership committee members and especially individual unit membership chairs and committees. And as you probably know, or at least would suspect, that increase also came about because of IRT members such as you. Members reaching out to former colleagues and asking them to join the only state organization that is solely dedicated to protecting our pension and health insurance benefits. Now, today, the reason that I mentioned increasing our membership is that this summer is the perfect time to bring in new members. Over 2,000 of our former colleagues just retired, so now is the perfect time to reach out to them. Now is the perfect time to ask them to join your local IRTA unit. Now is the perfect time to recruit them to join with us in the state IRTA. And as we do so, this is the perfect time to let you know about a new initiative that we are launching. Various members of the State Board of Directors and of the State Membership Committee have agreed to call new IRTA members who joined this year and welcome them to our association. Now, as you might remember from when you joined the IRTA, the Springfield office sends out a new member booklet. That booklet contains a lot of useful information. However, receiving a phone call allows a newly retired colleague to ask questions about that information or about anything else concerning the IRTA. It also gives the volunteer making the calls a chance to mention the value of joining a local IRTA unit. Oh, by the way, did you catch that word that I just used? Volunteer? Well, we'll get back to that later in the conference. Switching gears just a bit, I'd like to point out that one of the significant changes to the IRTA Constitution that was voted on by the delegates to last year's convention has to do with the makeup of 3 of the 5 state standing committees. Rather than limiting the number of members a committee has, now any member can join the legislative committee. Now any member can join the member benefits committee. Now any member can join the membership committee, and many members have volunteered to do so as the convention delegates had hoped. Guess what the operative word was in that last sentence? Oh yeah, volunteer. Just keep that in mind for later. One of the surprises for me when I voluntarily joined the IRTA was that there is an IRTA Foundation, and one of the great things about the foundation is that it gives out money. And just to remind you about how the foundation does that, there are 3 significant categories for spending the foundation's money. Currently, there are 11 members for whom the foundation provides monetary assistance, something that all of us should be grateful for the chance to be able to do. Secondly, this year we have had 54 foundation scholarship applicants. As you might know, Those who are awarded these scholarships are college students going into teaching, and who wouldn't want to help those young people? After all, we need to encourage people to replace us retirees in the classroom and eventually to join us in the IRTA. And lastly, we had an overwhelming response from active teachers who applied for the Excellence in Education grants. I enjoy seeing such enthusiasm from our colleagues in the classroom seeking opportunities for their students to have the tools they need to succeed. And hopefully you know that the money available for those 3 foundation activities does not come from our members' dues. No, it is all donated. Oh yeah, and speaking of donations to the foundation, I suspect that you realize we are in the midst of the annual foundation fundraising campaign. Yeah? So, if you haven't already donated, it's not too late. If you still have the letter sent to you by the foundation that had the IRTA notepad enclosed, why, just put your donation in the envelope and send it in. Or you can go to our website at irtaonline.org. Just click on the foundation button at the top of the homepage, then scroll down to and click on the line titled Donations and Memorials. And then when that page appears, just click on the yellow Donate button, take out your credit card, and use it. All of the beneficiaries of the foundation, past and present, are surely grateful. There is much more important information that others will be sharing with you today, so I'd like to leave you with this thought. As your unit plans out its programs over the next year and a half, as the association president, I am always available to join in as a part of or as the unit's program. Well, that is if my wife and I are not on a cruise. But anyway, just let the Springfield office know the details so I'll know when and where to volunteer my time to your unit. Now, I'd like to introduce our next speakers, IRTA's contract lobbyist, Andrew Davis, and our new IRTA Executive Director, Jessica Hazelton. They have a legislative update for us. Thank you.